Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent that we are flying high above Napa, California. That's right. Look at this. This caught my eye the last time I was in Napa, and I realized 2 tower cranes in downtown Napa. Wow. Where did all the buildings go that were there? And what are they building here? Well, the rumor has it that this is going to be a giant hotel. So, like I always say, we are going to film of this for posterity reasons. That's right, prosperity. This thing will not look like this for long. These projects usually move fast when that tower crane is on site. They do not mess around. That thing is humming, as they say. But as you can see, the 2 tower cranes are at different levels, so they can swing without bumping into each other. But I don't know what was there and what businesses got torn down to make all this property possible. But I'll tell you what, Napa is growing fast. I say that because when they built that Costco, I noticed that when towns get a Costco, that means they are getting big and they are growing. So now the problem that I'm sure, now I'm not the only one that thinks about this, is how many small little bed and breakfasts or even hotels in downtown Napa are they going to put out of business with this gigantic hotel? Now, I'm not sure how many stories this thing is going to end up being, so I will have to take a ground trip around this hotel next time I'm in Napa and do a little walk around. But if they have 2 tower cranes, you know it's probably over 6 stories tall. And I wonder who's doing the fire sprinklers there. That's a big job for anybody around this area. So, I don't know. But today you could see that this tower crane is definitely working, and with the other tower crane, I kept hearing the horns blow. They have there's the cable right there, right in the middle of the air. So you got to be careful flying that drone and listen to they have air horns. So every time you hear the air horn blast, that means there's a load on that crane being swung around. So it is quite a sight to see those cranes move. Now this is one of those shots that I always forget to take. It's the downward shot. And boy, I don't know why I forget to take it, because I really enjoy the downward angle. And you can see those little guys are like little ants down there. And the problem with jobs like this is deadlines. They always have deadlines and want to move faster than humanly possible. So if you want to see a little secret of where I was filming this, on my break, by the way, this was on my break. I actually had to wait to go to my next project because my supervisor had to go unclog a toilet or something. I don't know. But it was break time nevertheless, and you always want to get that camera angle right, and of course I didn't. You notice that at the last minute. But yeah, if you ever want to see two tower cranes at work, get to downtown Napa. And I was going to say you don't have to hurry, because these guys will be here for a while. But like I said, when you're down below looking up, it is quite a sight to see. And today, luckily, is just a beautiful, crisp, cold day. We've been getting a lot of rain here lately, so they really cannot work in the rain in those tower cranes. I'm sure they do, but there's not a lot of construction going on in the rain that requires cranes. So, and I don't know if they have rules about crawling up there in the slippery wetness of those tower cranes. I don't know. These are just questions. But if you ever want to get down to downtown Napa, this little hotel, I guess it's not little, it's going to be a big one, but it's right next to a park, and it is downtown downtown Napa, right off of 3rd Street. So you got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Street, and it's right in between all of that. So you can see right here, it's right next to the Napa River. And yeah, that's called the byway. That little green patch over there is where the water can flow when this river's really flowing through. It used to flood this downtown, but they've done a lot of work to make sure that downtown doesn't flood anymore. So this hotel, it was right in the middle of the flood zone. So there's that tower crane moving. If you look real close, I tried to keep the drone still so you could see that tower crane moving and how fast it moves. So yeah, it moves pretty fast, doesn't it? And you don't want to be a pain in the butt with your drone. You don't want to be getting in people's way, because you are definitely in their workspace. So you don't want to have work come to a stop because your drone is impeding the crane's movement. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind when you're flying your drone around a moving tower crane. That's basically why I stayed up high and stayed out far away. So there's a couple shots. I was going to go right through the middle of the crane, but I didn't think I wanted to lose my drone on this day. And you don't know what cables are hanging down from the drone. It's really hard to see, where things are with that tiny screen you're flying your drone with. But that's just semantics. Well, what do you think about this brand new hotel? Look at all the real estate, and look at all the buildings that once was there that are now gone. Old-timey buildings too. I'm sure those buildings were historic. There's one of the new hotels right there. So right across the street from the hotel is a brand new hotel. So I wonder if this is going to be a whole bunch of investors investing in a hotel that doesn't get anybody to show up. Now, how many people visit Napa? I don't know. I don't see too many people coming to drink wine, but I could be wrong. Maybe they build a little motel down the road, and you can see this motel has like a little garden area on there, like a rooftop gardening area, so you can sit up there and have a cocktail, or mocktail as they call them nowadays. A mocktail. Yep, not a cocktail, a mocktail. Well, there's a good little shot of downtown Napa. And look at that little holdout, that beautiful little house sitting by itself. Well, you won't see this skyline look like this for much longer. As a matter of fact, this whole skyline is going to change within the next year, I would imagine. I would say today is January 2026, the year of our Lord. So I would say by January 2027, the year of our Lord, God willing, if I'm still here, we'll fly this drone or another drone or take a, what do you call that, update. We'll give it an update in 1 year and see how far they got. So stay tuned. In 1 year, you'll have to come back and check out the Joy Cool channel and see how far does a building get built in 1 year. So I'll make a note to come back here in January of 2027, and I might even check in to the hotel. How about that? Wouldn't that be neat? Yeah, I got a couple hotels that I've been watching being built, one around the corner and one in Napa. So I might have to stay in the hotels that are freshly built and make a video about that. I don't know. Always something to video, but who has the time? Who has the money? I know I don't. But I'll tell you what, if you're here in a year, be blessed, because time goes by fast. We just don't know when our time is up. And I'll tell you what, I've lost a good friend that died at the ripe old age of 51. So when I say I'll be back in a year, you just don't count what you just don't have. That's why they say live each day till the fullest. I know it's easier said than done to live each day to the fullest, but if we've learned anything from the passing of my good friend Adam Nawu, David Adam Williams, get out, because you have to live if you want to live, if that makes any sense. But today we have too many comforts that, well, how should I say this? Make life too easy for us. So we don't get out and live. We just, life is too easy to make it hard, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, if you are not living, well, you're wasting your life. And I'm speaking to myself, because a lot of times I do waste my life doing nonsensical things when I've been blessed with so many talents. But now I'm getting off the subject. The subject is this Napa hotel. And that's right, it's not a motel. I've said this before. A hotel has rooms inside the hallways. The motels, you can park your car out in front. So hotel, you go in. Motel, you stay out. I thought I would zoom in on this guy and capture him working, but I did not want to get close to him. Maybe next time. You never know if you're bugging him or if we're entertaining him when we fly the drones around his towering crane. So if you're a crane operator, let me know if you like drones buzzing around your job site, if it's entertainment or if it's problematic. I don't know. Well, I guess that's going to probably wrap it up for this. I want to call it Napa Newest Hotel Tower Crane. Yeah, adventures. That's right. Napa is growing fast. So if you want to see a town that's growing, come to Napa. Like I said, if you like Costco, they have a brand new Costco. And if you like towering cranes, well, they got two of them, the Monday through Friday. Something to look at. Well, as I bid you to do, like Adam the Woo, I always want to thank you again for coming along with me on these new Napa Hotel adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. I think I'm going to end it like Adam the Woo would do and say, the vlog is over.